Good day, ladies. I'm back. Menopause Taylor here to give you yet another life-saving podcast on heart attack. This is the state of menopause in the world today, and it's so important for you to know all about heart attacks when you become menopausal or even before. I am so glad you're here because this one podcast could quite literally save your life. I am embarking on a huge unit on heart attack, and this is the 5th podcast on heart attack. And if you listen to these in order, you will be shocked at the difference it will make in your understanding. In the 4 previous podcasts, I have taught you about why we need more hype about heart attacks than we do about breast cancer. I've taught you what causes heart attacks. I've taught you the role of fats in causing heart attack, and I've taught you the role of sugar in causing heart attack. Today, I'm going to teach you about the symptoms of a heart attack in women. And if you have my book, which is Menopause, Your Management, Your Way, Now and for the Rest of Your Life, the heart attack unit is chapter 28, and this part of it is under the title, the heading, Symptoms. Now, please tell me that I don't have to explain why listening to this podcast is important. If you don't know the symptoms that indicate you're having a heart attack, you're very likely to die from that heart attack. Unfortunately, that is precisely the case for the vast majority of women. Please listen to this podcast in its entirety. Don't fast forward, don't skip to the end. This one podcast could save your life. Let's start with a quiz question. I like to use quiz questions because they force you to think. And if you don't choose the right answer, it shows you that you don't have the information you need to be successful in avoiding a heart attack. So here's the quiz question. How are heart attacks different for men and women? A. The symptoms are the same for both men and women, but heart attacks are much more common in men and much less common in women. B. Men have radiation to the left arm and women do not. Other than that, they're similar. C. There's not anything similar about heart attack symptoms in men and women. They present in completely different ways between the two genders. D. Men feel heaviness in the chest. Women feel sharpness in the chest. E. Men have mild chest pain days before a heart attack. Women have no symptoms before a heart attack. F. Women recover from heart attacks and are less likely to die from a heart attack than men are. Which one is it? Was it super easy? Well, guess what? The answer is C. There's not anything similar about heart attack symptoms in men and women. They present in completely different ways between the two genders. Okay, so now you know that heart attack symptoms are completely different for men and women, but that's not enough to save your life. What you need to know is how they're different. So here's another quiz question. See if you can answer this one. Which of the following are symptoms of a heart attack in a woman? A. Indigestion. B. Jaw pain. C. Fatigue. D. Insomnia. E. Chest discomfort at rest. F. Abdominal fullness. G. Shortness of breath. H. Back pain. I. All of the above. J. None of the above. What's your answer? Would it surprise you to learn that it's all of the above? Every single one of those things can be symptoms of a heart attack in a woman. Now, of course, you can't learn everything you need to know from a couple of simple quiz questions. So let's delve into this topic on the symptoms of heart attack in women. And the key word is women. First, let me review with you the symptoms of heart attack in men. Most people are very familiar with the symptoms of heart attack in men. Almost anyone can identify a heart attack in a man. There are two classic features to heart attacks in men. They always involve two body parts, their chest and their left arm. That, in and of itself, is significant. For men, a heart attack is all about their chest and their left arm. And they have very specific, classic, telltale sensations in their chest and left arm. So let's address each of these. With regard to their chest, men have the classic symptom of chest pain. They use the word pain. It's not just uncomfortable, it's downright painful. Now let's talk about the quality of that pain. You see, as a physician, I pay great attention to descriptive words. Those words can often be the key to a diagnosis. If you ever hear a man describe the chest pain of a heart attack, he always uses words that imply heaviness. Some men describe it as crushing chest pain. Others say that it felt like an elephant was sitting on his chest. Regardless of the actual words, the implication is always that a heart attack in a man is accompanied by a sensation of a heavy feeling in their chest, and it's painful. The second classic feature of a heart attack in a man is that the pain radiates down his left arm. Sometimes a man will say he had tingling in his left arm. Others will say their left arm felt numb. Others will say that their left arm hurt or throbbed. But regardless of how they describe these things, men will universally complain of heavy chest pain and some sensation in their left arm. And many men will also experience sweating. And you can predict a future heart attack if a man has chest pain when he exercises. But none of this is true for a woman. This is so important. You have to learn this. Do not assume that all medical professionals know about the differences in heart attack symptoms between men and women. They don't. So let's dissect the symptoms of a heart attack in a woman. When it comes to women, we're going to distinguish three separate things: location, sensation, and other symptoms. The first is location. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, I mean that unlike men, women do not necessarily feel anything in their chest. That's right. Even though it's a heart attack, and even though your heart is in your chest, as a woman, you will not necessarily experience symptoms in your chest. That's the most important part of knowing the symptoms of a heart attack in a woman. So instead of having any sensation in your chest, as a woman, you will have symptoms in your jaw, your neck, your back between your shoulder blades, your esophagus, or your abdomen. It's everywhere but your chest. Now, all these areas are near your heart, but not a single one of them is what you think of when you think of your heart. So again, here's that list of locations: your jaw, your neck, your back between your shoulder blades, your esophagus, and your abdomen. Second is the sensation. By that, I'm referring to the descriptive words women use to describe a heart attack. Unlike men, women hardly ever use the word pain to describe a heart attack. Of course, we all know that this is because we are so much stronger than men. But, beyond that, it's because everything about a heart attack is different for a woman. The descriptive words women use include tightness, aching, aching, pressure, squeezing, fullness, tingling, burning, or heartburn. Some women feel nothing at all. So you can see how easy it is for a woman to miss the fact that she's having a heart attack. She has no in the precise area of her heart, and she has nothing that she would describe as pain. And to further complicate matters, you can have any of these sensations in any of the locations I delineated. This means that you can have tightness, aching, pressure, squeezing, fullness, tingling, or burning in your jaw, neck, your back between your shoulder blades, your esophagus, or your abdomen. And when you look at it that way, you see that there are so many different descriptions of a heart attack in a woman, with so many possible combinations of presentations. And that's part of the problem. It's much more complex than it is for men. And of course, that's because women are more complex than men in every way. And you know what? Doctors, some just don't get this. If you ask doctors about talking to women about heart attacks, they sometimes say something as audacious as, women are so complicated. They never get to the point. They never come right out and say they're having chest pain. Well, duh, that's because they're not having chest pain. They're having everything but chest pain. But doctors sometimes don't get it. They're looking for you to say you have chest pain. And women don't have chest pain. And instead of assuming that maybe we don't have chest pain, they think that we're not getting to the point. They think we're beating around the bush. Be careful with this. This is why I give you these tutorials. Okay, now the third factor to consider is the other symptoms that accompany a heart attack in a woman. And these just serve to confuse the issue further. The first is symptoms that occur in the month preceding a heart attack. 95% of women will experience at least one of these symptoms in the month before she has a heart attack, and usually they occur frequently during that month. They include fatigue, insomnia, shortness of breath, anxiety, indigestion, headaches, and arm discomfort. And I'll describe each of these. First is fatigue. Fatigue is the most common symptom that precedes a heart attack in a woman. This is an unusual, inexplicable level of fatigue, even if you're getting plenty of sleep. Most women describe it as overwhelming fatigue, and it might even be severe enough to interfere with your basic, minor daily activities like taking a shower. Second is insomnia. Now, this is confusing because menopause itself is characterized by insomnia. But most insomnia of menopause is due to night sweats. The insomnia that precedes a heart attack is not. Third is shortness of breath. Most women will notice shortness of breath on exertion. That means they notice it when they're doing something active and it's new. It's not something they've always experienced. Fourth is anxiety. Now, this is another confusing one because many women experience anxiety as a symptom of menopause. Before a heart attack, the anxiety is usually fleeting, and it comes in bouts rather than being constant. Fifth is frequent episodes of indigestion. Now, most people have indigestion after eating certain specific foods, but in the month before a heart attack, it's common for a woman to have indigestion regardless of what she eats. Sixth is headaches. Women who have never had severe headaches before